Welcome back, everybody. The deuce is loose. It's episode 3. It's 2/22/22. The boys are back. The deuce is loose here. We're pumped. We're excited. Lots to get into on the show tonight. As always, we're joined. I surprise these guys every week. We got Anthony. We got Marco. Lots on the show tonight. Yes, the deuce is always running loose. Deuce McAllister, shout out. NBA talk tonight.
McAllister.
Yes, Deuce, former Ole Miss Rebel. We also got some college hoops. We're less than 3 weeks away from Selection Sunday, so we're talking some title odds.
Ooh.
NBA, a little Eastern Conference. We have a special mailbag that features Marco, so that's always must see how he makes the Benjamins flow, which is always key if you enjoy making money. And rumor is, big if true, people love making money here, and that's what Sharp Action Show is all about. Check us out, sharpactionshow.com, all social media platforms at Sharp Action Show. Let's kick it off, boys. You ready? Let's do it as always. NBA All-Star Weekend. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable weekend. It's in the books. Anthony, quick thought overall.
3-point contest has actually taken the reins. This was the first year that I really said, you know what, 3-point contest, put that shit on, because the dunk contest, I'll just YouTube some dude in the park who just fucking jamming.
I see better dunks at Lifetime than I did in the dunk contest. It was painful. And the best part was the
bad?
NBA greats felt the exact same way, which made me feel valedated seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I mean, Shaq was like, wake me up when this shit is over.
Yeah, it was boring. Unlike your weekly reminder, always gamble responsibly. We have some odds via DraftKings. We're talking NBA Eastern Conference odds. So you got to win the East. It's surprise, surprise, maybe not so much. The Brooklyn Nets are the favorites to win the East, even though they're currently the 8th seed. And D'Amato, they're plus 230. You say even as the 8th seed, forget about it. They're still the heavy slam dunk for you?
They are. Yep, at full strength, playoff spirit out of Irving.
Right.
I just think Ben Simmons is going to thrive. He's going to play better ball than he's ever played in these next upcoming months, which is going to be insane, because there was a point in time when he was playing really well as an NBA All-Star. But now, I think he's going to just slash and get free buckets.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to be amazing, but he's going to put...
Time out.
Go ahead.
You're going to tell me that the Brooklyn Nets are your heavy-duty favorite to win the Eastern Conference when, let's just say, hypothetically, Kevin Durant scores 30 a game. Kyrie Irving scores 25 a game. That puts us at 55 points. Who's scoring the other 55 on their team? Because they're going to give up $110 a game. They're not defensive powerhouses. Right. They don't have a big man that's dominant underneath. They don't have any of that. I'm sorry, but there's only 3 teams in the East that make me go, ooh, shit. It's the Chicago Bulls, the Miami Heat, and the Miami Heat are dogs. Woo! Yep. They're dogs. I wouldn't want to face them. They got P.J. Tucker, Jimmy Butler.
They're nice.
They've got a team that scares me.
They're nice. I like them.
The only team in the East that scares me with being a Bulls fan is the Miami Heat. Now, I get it. KD's KD. Yeah. I don't want to face him. He can go off for 50 or 60 a night.
Right.
You don't know.
He may need 40.
Just thrown off by it.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last week's show, I did say the Bulls-Suns finals. I did.
But
a lot has happened on both parties since then.
Right.
With the knee of Levine and the thumb of
his
knee's
CP3. Fine.
So
CP3's in 6 to 8 weeks, in case you're just tuning in.
Guaranteed. So while I do think Brooklyn will be in the Eastern Conference Finals, I do think they will play the Bulls.
Yeah.
And I think that will be a showdown. But I also believe that Irving attacking and a slashing 6'11" off the wings is going to be tough to stop. And the crazy part is the other 2 guys can both dribble and get to the lane. That just clears the way for everybody else at all times.
I
think they can go crazy. I think you'll see some high-flying playoff dunks that are like shit.
If
there's
Patrick
6'11" dudes fucking flying all over.
Time out. If Patrick Williams comes back and you've got Green, those are 2 wing defenders that can guard those positions, no problem.
Yeah. I do agree with that. Yeah. I do like the Bulls. I'm not sure yet at this given point in time which one I like to be in the finals.
I'm just structuring points.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, okay, how do you get to 110 points a game? Because that's going to win you a game most of the time.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how they get to $110 every game.
Yeah, they're going to have to have one of their shooters go off for maybe 15, 20.
every night.
Yeah, well, in that series.
I mean, shame on me.
Or Durant goes for a 40 nugget
Shame
or
on
50,
me.
like you said.
Every night.
Shame on
I
me
don't
for
think that's
not
gonna
for
happen, to
not
your
knowing
point.
the roster. To be quite honest
No,
with you.
it's just
But they have Seth Curry. They have
a shooter.
They have Andre Drummond.
okay. Time out though. Seth Curry is out there, right? And he's getting buckets right now.
Uh-huh.
But what happens when his dad shows up? He's gonna get half the amount of shots.
He might get.
No, seriously. All of a sudden, your dad's
Listen.
there, and you're like, I can't shoot 15.
I
You know
agree,
Durant's
but I
getting
like
his.
to see the flow of the team led by Durant, Irving,
Not to
and
mention,
company, rather
Lonzo
than the
Ball
Harden
will
show.
lock
The Harden
down-
show is going
I like
no.
it.
The Harden show goes nowhere.
Yeah, they're a boomer bust for me.
The Harden show goes nowhere. I can't judge any team when he's on the roster because the Harden show just doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
You can't dribble for
That hurts
20
my heart
seconds.
because I love him.
So-
but-
I do too, but you can't dribble for 20 seconds in this league
Yeah.
and let 4 dudes watch and then
Yeah.
shoot the ball. It's never going to
So you
work.
like
agree.
Brooklyn Bulls?
yeah.
That's kind of
Brooklyn Bulls,
Now,
Eastern
Bulls.
Conference
It-
Finals.
it'll be-
Miami scares me.
Yeah, it will be intriguing if Brooklyn
Miami
somehow,
is also probably the best coach team in that entire
It'd be a bad luck.
in
I
the
agree.
Eastern Conference.
Bad luck, Brian. Bad luck, Bulls. If they somehow get matched up with Brooklyn in the semis.
Boston-
What's that fun
Boston
stat that
sucks.
you came up with in the next stat?
Yeah, so it brings us to the really important bone stat. What's the purpose? It's to win you some cash. And remember, we're less than 3 weeks away from Selection Sunday. We'll be talking brackets, and more money brackets. Did you know, in the history of the NCAA tournament, since seeding began, which if you're keeping tabs, that's actually 1979, there's never, ever been a 5 seed to win the national championship.
crazy.
In fact, only
I know, I read
3 have even made the national
Because
championship.
5 seeds are good teams.
Yeah, but they always get in
5-12.
trouble with the 12 at
Yes,
the beginning.
5-12.
The
Yes.
12 always penetrates the 5.
Yep.
Usually knocks at least one off.
Why you
the
got to
board.
use the word penetrate? Why you got to trigger me like
Because
that?
that's how hard it's a so shocking blow. It's penetration.
Only 3.
At
have-
its finest.
And only 3 have made the national title. We had Florida lose to Michigan State in 2000. That's actually the last title the Big Ten won. Then you had Indiana go down to Maryland in 02. And then Gordon Hayward and Butler in 2010 lost on the bank shot.
I
What
remember
about
that.
the Illini in 05 or
They-
06?
Well, they were a 1 seed. Overall.
That's right.
They were number 1, and they were number 1 for most
That
of the year
team was
until
sick.
yeah,
It's
that,
fun.
that
Fun
game was a
fact.
fun one. So that's the key rib stat. Every week we'll be discussing that. A lot of hoops for February and March. We'll be talking about once we get closer. It's almost March, guys. It's pretty crazy.
What's the mailbag of the week?
Yeah, so the mailbag of the week involves this guy because he's won a few ones. So here it is. Gotta get some love. At Lucky Rabbit 82. In summary, is how does Marco formulate his winners? And it's simply what's the process? What's the research? How does he pick these games? Compared to the okay bettors and the good ones, and then even the great ones, what makes you confident making these selections of the 5 and 6 figures on the games for winners? How do you pick them out, Marco?
I'm going to speak about football because my majority of my success
Forte.
comes from NCAA and NFL football. The way that I'm formulating is that when the week starts, and I'm talking, Monday morning, I'm looking at lines as soon as they're released, right? So NCAA lines are typically released right as soon as the week ends, and I'm taking a look and I'm going through and I'm formulating what dog do I like, okay? So I'm going through, what is there, like 90 games, right?
Potentially early in the year,
I'm going
yes.
through every game possible, and I'm looking for 1 or 2 dogs that really stick out. And when I'm looking for those dogs, it's got to be between a plus 200 to all the way up to 400, and sometimes I'll dabble in a plus 450 on a smaller level parlay. And now, mind you, keep in mind, a smaller level parlay to me might be a stupid big one to you, or
Right.
or maybe you've got boo-foo money and you're Jeff Bezos and you want to throw 100,000 on parlay. I don't know. But I'm looking for dogs that I like because not only do I bet that dog on the money line in the parlay, but I also take them plus the points to cover my parlay. I'm always trying to find a way to give myself insurance because you can't go all in. You'll always lose because you're never going to win an all in. So I'm looking for ways to balance out my action. And typically I'll try and set up about on a football a week. I'm setting up between 6 to 8 parlays. And I'm typically setting them up between 2 teamers that are like, 4-to-1 payouts, 5-to-1 payouts, all the way up until you'll see I usually hover around that 40-to-1 mark. I think that's a healthy number to be at. 40-to-1 is like if I gave you a $100 bill and you got it 40 back, you'd be freaking ecstatic. That's the kind of the way I feel. So I'm looking for dogs. I'm trying to find a way to get insurance on them. So if I take a team plus 450 in a parlay, I have them also plus 14 money or straight up, so I can cover that parlay. So I'm typically like 90% confident that plus 14 is going to cover. So that's what I know. And you have to remember, you're looking for matchups.
Right.
Matchups. What's a team do good against another defense does bad? Hey, I know this team runs the ball like a motherfucker, and I know that team that they're facing loves to pass the ball, and they've got good pass defense. Oh my God, why is this such a slanted line? I know that my team's going to run the ball and keep the ball. That team's going to get frustrated when it's 3 and out a couple times, and now I've got a huge advantage and the clock's ticking.
Right.
You have to look at all of that stuff. I can go into more detail, but I'll just keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, I agree. I think a good example was Arkansas played Penn State in the bowl game. Penn State had their top 2 linebackers out for that game. Arkansas' strength, running the football. Penn State, pretty good with those linebackers. They're out. That was a big weakness, and that actually ended up being the big difference. They covered easy. And I think, you can wait a little bit. If you get a great number, always go for it. But sometimes in college, mainly over pros, it's hard to get the active updated injury reports until sometimes the day of or day before. So.
Live wagering.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I live on live wagering.
Correct.
If I see my dog go down 7-0 early, I'm going to freaking double pound
Especially
the
if it goes
extra
up to
4 or 5
touchdowns.
points. Yeah.
Yep, and that's when you hit big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I play. It's why I play the props because I feel that I get the same kind of advantage just based off what I know about a player versus a player.
All right,
Exactly, I
all
like
right,
that.
all right. Final
That was
odd,
fun.
yeah. Always tune in. You can mailbag us. You could hit Marco up on Instagram.
It's a great question.
Marco _ parlay for Twitter or Instagram for of course Sharp Action Show. Last odds via DraftKings. We're less than 3 weeks away. Selection Sunday, NCAA tournament. These odds are via DraftKings. Gonzaga is currently the NCAA tournament favorite to cut down the nets. They've only made 2 Final Fours. They're still chasing that first natty. I personally like their chances at the moment, but a key number, we talk about that front line. Chet Holmgren, Drew Timme are 2 studs, at least college perspective. Andrew Nembhard is the starting point guard. He's a former Gator. Did you know the last 2 years, Nembhard and the Gonzaga Bulldogs are 25-0 when he reaches double figures.
Wow.
So when he poops it, when he struggles, like this year, Duke and Bama beat him. He couldn't get the double figures. So he's a guy that's got to play well because they don't have lottery talent in the back.
You know what? That's something that people need to look at, right?
Yeah.
Like they lost to 2 teams that
Yeah,
I
they're-
think get beat, by some average Big Ten teams.
Right.
They don't face top tier talent.
No, they
until
don't.
they get to the championship
But they
rounds.
do
I mean, it's-
sneak in often, which is it's pretty impressive because they play shit all year.
right.
they
The
just
few
get way
times
too
that
much
they-
respect.
But the few times that they play a couple good teams, they get smacked around in the regular. I
Right.
totally understand.
Right.
But then they beat them when it matters to get
Yeah.
into that
Yeah.
8 or 4.
I like it. And then WCC
But I
could
just
get
don't
3 or
I
4
don't-
in this year.
Now that you particularly told me that,
Yeah.
I think less
of
of
them.
them. So
Well-
I'm going to keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah. Who else do you guys like? This field's, I wouldn't say it's overly loaded. It's pretty much up for grabs. Last
I
year,
love
Baylor, Gonzaga were
I
good.
love the NCAA tournament this year.
So do I.
This
It's
is
an up
this
for
is-
grabber.
Yes.
If there's a year where there's craziness,
It's this one.
it's this one
For sure.
There's
Now-
so much balance.
And now the
There's
fans are back. Last year was
absolutely-
pretty much fairly empty.
There's absolutely
big.
no doubt in my mind that this could be the year that we see a 12-11
Yep.
somebody
Go deep.
banging in the
Now
Final
we
Four.
had UCLA last year, play-in game, almost lost in the play-in.
And they were gritty.
And they lost.
And they
to
should have
Gonzaga at
won
the
that
buzzer.
game.
They did.
They should have won that
Yes,
game.
Suggs faked
And they
it
would
in.
have won it all had they won that game.
Jalen Suggs a dog.
Yeah.
I like
He's
him.
he's
So who do you like? Gonzaga's the favorite, 4-1 odds.
I got to tell you, the Purdue Auburn plus 1,000 value on both of those teams
Yeah.
is excellent. I think Purdue has maybe the most talented player in the game,
Especially for a guard.
and Ivy. So
Yeah, Jaden Ivey.
them I love going deep, and that and they have that big man who's like he's like an
Zach-
8.
yeah.
He's like fucking 100
Ivey.
feet tall.
He's from
Yeah.
Mars, that guy. He's
Yeah.
ginormous.
And Travion
So I
Williams
like
a
them,
beast.
and I like Auburn, coached by Bruce Pearl, a real athletic team. I like athletic teams,
And they may have,
in long spurts,
Right.
like a tournament like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
They are
Jabari
athletic.
Smith could be the #1 pick for Auburn.
But I wonder, do you know what the value is on Illinois? Because me and Marco, we were having a discussion
You
about
get
them
the
the other
odds. You
day.
can get maybe 20-1. Obviously, to win it all. And you
Now,
might-
that's
yeah.
great value because
That's
they've
what
had
I'm saying.
injuries
At
all
least
year
in the
long.
teens.
They
at
look
worst.
good.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
They smacked
I
the
might have to
fuck
fly
out
to
of
Vegas to
Michigan
place the
State.
bet,
did.
but I don't because you can't bet on Illinois teams in
Right, in
Illinois.
DraftKings,
but I
correct.
could
That's
fly
why.
my
Yeah.
ass to
Yeah.
fucking Vegas and place it. It makes total
Yeah.
sense. Anyways, I don't hate Illinois. I hate being a homer, like a double homer Bulls in Illinois.
like?
But when I see value, I see value, and I would love to see them on an opposite side of the bracket of Purdue because I would love. I don't
would
make
be
my
essential.
I don't make my wagers until I see the brackets built out because I want to see the road that they're going to go on. I've been leaning Purdue for the last 2 weeks.
I like them.
I've spoken to DraftKings and PointsBet about placing a large wager on them. Haven't done anything yet.
Purdue looks good, man.
I love their chances to get to the Final Four.
Hey,
I'm going to tell you why
I
Purdue.
texted Marco the other day, and him and I are not on the
Boiler
same
up.
betting terms.
Yeah, that's true.
I texted him the other day, though. I said, listen, this one's big for me. I said, let's pull in Purdue. I said, this one's big.
The only reason I like
feeling
them.
juicy. We were
Why do you-
talking. I'm like,
Why
fuck
do-
it.
why do you like
bomb
Purdue?
'em.
The
They
only
killed
reason I like Purdue
Rutgers.
is because they can play 2 different ways. They can play big. They can play small. They can play athletic. They can do really anything on the court, and I love the idea of being able to be moldable. A team's going to try and counter your best punch, and when you can counter their best punch, it's not even a game.
Yeah.
Like here, the Rutgers played their hearts out
Right.
on Sunday. They gave every single thing they could give,
Yeah.
and they barely
Jr.
lost by 13.
The first 5 minutes, I thought I was
think it was
watching,
12, so
what's
they
it-
coulda covered
what
on
was
the
that
hook, yeah.
movie with
Hoosiers?
with the coach, Coach Carter?
Coach Carter. I thought you were going.
That's how much heart they
Yeah.
had in the game.
And
I
they're
was
a
like,
tournament team.
I was like, oh my god, I think
And
it's
it'll be
over.
intriguing if Purdue gets a 1 or 2 seed. They could go in the Midwest, which is hosted by the United Center in Chicago for the regional finals and semis. That's Sweet 16.
and I'll be
game.
there with a gold on and everything.
I
Going,
love
boil her up,
I love
baby.
Ivy. I love Ivy. Defense, the only thing that concerns me.
You're not
I like him.
lying.
I like him. We'll be talking more, maybe little sleepers next week, and then
Yep.
before you know it, it's Selection Sunday. We'll be talking every pick, the entire bracket, all the picks, help you win the cash, help you win your prize pools. Always a lot of fun here. Wrapping up episode 3, guys. As always, got to give special thanks. Couldn't do it without Andrew and TJ. Thank you so much to Illinois Media School. I can't believe we're 3 weeks in the books, though. Make sure you check us out on all social media platforms. We are at Sharp Action Show. You can check us out. It's on the homepage, sharpactionshow.com. Right there, the videos will be up. We're excited. It's the triple. We got happy February 2nd, February 22nd, 2022. The Deuces are running loose.
Deuces
The
loose!
are loose. Shout out to Staley.
Oh, big time. Signing off.
Good
For
call on
Anthony,
Staley.
Marco, I'm Bones. Have a great week, guys. We'll enjoy it.
Ciao for now.